We are generally gradually coming to the end of the course. So once we know how a Butterworth low pass filter works, and knowing this Butterworth high pass filter is just a small extension. So if a second order Butterworth low pass filter, so a Butterworth low pass filter has an h of s equal to 1 over s square plus 1.414 s plus 1, and n3 and n4 5, we have those polynomials. Then a Butterworth high pass filter second order for n equal to 2 has a transfer function. Here we have second order term in the denominator. Here we also have an s square. We just have an s square in the numerator, and that's it. We exactly get the same term in the denominator. However, because of this s square in the numerator, that same circuit cannot be used. So you see, basically, for high pass filter, the same polynomials are valid. It's only just the numerator that changes. So for example, if for n is equal to 3, we had the polynomials were s plus 1 into s square plus s plus 1. Then for a high pass filter, the h of s would be s cube here, actually s over s plus 1 into s square over s square plus s plus 1. So let me make a Butterworth high pass filter that is of the third order, so that you also know how to handle that s plus 1 in the polynomial. So this s plus 1 factor will be implemented by a simple high pass filter, the usual way that we used to develop earlier. So 1, 1, 1, this is a high pass filter of order 1. And if we now multiply, if we now cascade, sorry, not multiply, if we now cascade this. So remember, I want to show, you can go back and check the circuit of the Butterworth low pass filter. Here, there we had two resistors here. But now instead of the resistor, we have two capacitors like this. And instead of the capacitors, we have two resistors here. So you see how simple this is. So someone who has not switched off his or her mind, basically all these topics are very simple, and simple steps using which um, we can very easily draw and implement Butterworth filters. So here these C's are now of equal value. We call both of them C, and this is now R1 and R2, like C1 and C2 in the low pass filter case. And once again, I am not just going to writing the whole expression here. It's very simple here. So this circuit can implement an h of s, which is of this form: s square over s square plus bs plus 1. That's it. So here the C's are equal to 1 farad, and the B is equal to 2 over R2. There it was 2 over C1, the C here, but it is 2 over R2 here now, the R here. And the other thing was the R1 is the reciprocal of R2. So with these three things and this knowledge, that's it. We know how to design a high pass Butterworth filter. That's it. It's so simple. I mean, it's not even 2 3 minutes, and we have covered the high pass filter case, and it's very simple. And yeah, I am not even going to give you an example, because if you can draw, if you can design, if you can do the problem, and you have understood that what I have done of the Butterworth low pass filter, then this is a very simple extension, and you can very fairly easily understand how to do it. A much important thing to know and remember is the thing that I mentioned in the last lecture, is finding the order that is n of a Butterworth filter. for both. This applies for both the high pass and the low pass filter case. However, I am taking up the example of a low pass filter. And once again, let me specify what do I mean by those four values in which usually the specs of a filter is given for us to design. So if we have a Bode diagram, then on the Bode diagram we may have something like this, and basically four values will be given to us. We will be given omega p. Let us call this omega p instead of omega 1, and let us say these on the y-axis we have a, where a is nothing but the HDB value. So we have this AP. So basically this omega p is a frequency that helps us define what is a pass band. So pass band ends at omega p, you can say it like this. And then there is some other frequency omega s. At this frequency we have this HDB equal to ES, and this in a way tells us about the from where the stop band starts. So basically this between omega p and omega s is the transition band. You can intuitively understand that larger the transition band, smaller the order of a filter, because a smaller slope is going to cover up that transition band. And if we shrink the if we squeeze the transition band and make these AP and AS further apart, then we will need a higher order filter to achieve these specifications. So these are the four values. These are the four values, and basically these are the two pair of values, AP and omega p and AS and omega s. So given these two pairs of values, we need to come up with an expression to find n. So how we can do this? We can skip actually this, because you can fairly easily do this yourself. And remember that we began with h of j omega magnitude to be equal to 1 over omega power 2n square root. If we started from here, then what does omega p mean? And remember, this a is in dBs, so it is HDB, not h of j omega magnitude. So the 20 log of this thing, or 20 log of this thing, is basically this is what a is. So when we say AP, we mean AP is equal to 20 log of 1, which is 0, minus 20 log of this thing. So what we are going to get? Okay, we will do that in the next step. 1 over square root of 1 plus omega p power 2n, because AP belongs to omega p. And this will be equal to minus 10 log of 1 plus omega p power 2n. So if we take this to the numerator, we get minus half in the power and the square root, and it comes here, and this makes this minus 10, and we get this thing. Similarly, for AS we get minus 10 log of 1 plus omega s power 2n. So if we now take the ratio of AAP and AS of both sides, actually, let us put this in the numerator. It does not matter which one goes to the numerator, but for a low pass filter, putting this omega s in the numerator would yield an expression with a positive sign. So we are going to get AS over AP equal to minus 10 log of 1 plus omega s power 2n over minus 10 log of 1 plus omega p power 2n, and that would be equal to log of 1 plus omega s 2n over log of 1 plus omega p 2n. Be careful, log cannot get cancelled, and we cannot also write this as log of this divided by this. No, don't forget the logarithmic rules. Or I think I have done this this step a little earlier. We can actually extend this to see that if AP is equal to this thing, then 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AP would be equal to 1 plus omega p power 2n, because this minus 10 goes to the denominator, AP over minus 10, which is minus 0.1 AP, and then to end the log we take the antilog on both sides, or 10 raised power, write this as 10 raised power, then we get this thing. And similarly for this AS thing, 10 raised power minus 0.1 AS is equal to 1 plus omega s 2, and now we don't have a log in here, and it's easier to do it this way. So if we skip doing this and do this with this, then AS, or in fact 10 raised to the power 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AS over 10 raised to the power minus in fact 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AS, and this 1 comes to this side, minus 1, and 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AP minus 1 can be written as omega p power 2n over omega s power 2n. We actually have to find the expression for n. Remember, we are finding the order of Butterworth filters. We have to solve this to find n. So this tells us that omega s over omega p, omega s was in the numerator, omega p in the denominator, whole power 2n would be equal to 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AS minus 1 over 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AP minus 1, which tells us that omega s over omega p power n is equal to square root of 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AS minus 1 over square root of 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 AP minus 1. Let us call this term sigma s, and let us call this term sigma p. So in other words, omega s over omega p power n is equal to sigma s over sigma p. So how will you recover n from here? We take the log of both sides, which implies that n would be equal to, so this will come here n log of this thing, and this goes in the denominator. So log of sigma s over sigma p over log of omega s over omega p. this is the N for a low pass filter. For a high pass filter, the formula would be similar one. So we will have log of sigma S over sigma P, or you can have um, um, first understand that for a high pass filter, the specs would be given something like this. So if we have this here, then remember this is the stop band. So now the smaller value is the stop band related to stop band. So because this is stop band, we have this omega s and this is as, and this some higher frequency would be defining the pass band. So for this case, we will see that uh, the smaller value has the smaller as. Here the larger value had the larger as, though in the negative side. But because of the flipping of this, if we, for the high pass filter case, one of the numerator or denominator can be kept the same way, like sigma s over sigma p here as well, but the other side will flip. So omega p over omega s. So this is going to give us a positive value of omega. If we don't do this and use the same formula, we will get a negative value for high pass frequency. Even that's fine. You can reason and say, okay, this is the high pass filter, so this negative value will be actually the order without that negative sign. So that's it. So if somebody tells you, okay, here are a few simple cases and a few formulas that can this can be further simplified based on few cases. So for example, for case 1, let us say that we are given all these things, as, ap, omega s, omega p, then this formula is to be used. So if instead there is something, or there is some rhythm, that if omega p is the cutoff frequency, the 3 dB cutoff frequency, then what is going to happen? Omega p is the cutoff frequency, and we know at the cutoff frequency AP would be -3. AP would be -3, because if the pass band gain is 0, then omega p is the cutoff frequency, then here it will be -3 dB. So building on this thing, we can simplify this whole expression, and I just write the end result. You will get this expression: n is equal to log of sigma s divided by log of omega s over omega p. So see what simplification have been done. In this expression, sigma s over sigma p is replaced by sigma s only. So that means sigma p will become 1. What is sigma p? Sigma p is this term. So AP will be -3. So -3 into -0.1 is 0.3. So 10 raised to the power 0.3, 10 raised to the power 0.3 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 square root of 1 is 1. So that's why sigma p becomes 1. And then there is the third case. The third case says that if 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 as is much greater than 1. So if this is true, what's going to happen? So if as is a very small value in the negative side in dBs, then this term 10 raised to the power minus 0.1 as, as is large value. So for example, say as is 80. So 80 into 0.1 is 8. 10 raised to the power 8 is a large number. 10 raised to the power 8 minus 1 is as good as 10 raised to the power 8. So 10 raised to the power 8 square root is 10 raised to the power 4. So basically that is going to be that case is what we are trying to simplify. So if this term is much greater than 1, so a large number minus 1 is as good as a large number, then there is a simplification and we can solve it very easily and see what that simplification is. Minus 0.05 as over log of omega s over omega p. So that is the expression for, if you want to take this this simplification of the formula to calculate n, you can take it. If you don't, you can still put the in the formula, you will get the same value, because this is a simplified way for expression for that particular case. However, be careful, for something to be much greater than 1, it has to be much greater than 1, say 10 times greater at least, then you can use this formula. Otherwise, stick to the original formula. So now, if there is an example, say the example says determine the order of a Butterworth low pass filter. Generally, even if not the filter type is not mentioned, it's okay, but based on what we are going to what is going to be specified is going to tell us whether it's a low pass filter or high pass filter. It's not clear at this point. So determine the order of a Butterworth filter that has a cutoff frequency of, so in fact it is an FC that is given, it is 1000 hertz and a gain of at least minus 50 dB at 6000 hertz. So at 6000 hertz, the gain is minus 50 dB. So we can see that at the omega p is the cutoff frequency omega c, and AP is minus 3 dB now. So AP is the, so this case 2, omega p is omega c, and so therefore this will be AS, related to AS. This stop band gain is minus 50 dB, and 6000 hertz is FS, the stop band frequency. So with this terms, it's very easy to see that for a lower frequency, it is minus 3 dB is not given, and for a higher frequency, it has a smaller gain, so it's a low pass filter. So here we can find this. So we can see that if AS is minus 50, then minus 50 into minus 0.1 is 5, times per 5 is 1 lakh. 1 lakh minus 1, so 1 lakh is much greater than 1. So therefore we can use this simplification and say, okay, the order of the Butterworth filter will be minus 0.05 into AS, which is minus 50 divided by log of F. It doesn't matter if it is a ratio between omega S or omega P, or Fs and omega P, because 2 pi cancels. So we get Fs over Fp. So this is equal to minus minus plus 22.5, 2.5 over log of 6000 over 1000, that's log of 6. So we get 3.2. So n is equal to 3.2. We cannot make a filter of n is equal to 3.2. So we always take the next integer and say the order of the filter will be 4. So if we implement a filter of fourth order, then these specs will be met, because this filter has a higher rate of transition, higher fall in the transition band, and therefore this spec that the gain at 6000 hertz should at least be minus 50 dB is it will be obtained. So if you have to design this whole thing, then we have seen a Butterworth low pass filter in the previous example, and we can very easily implement that, and that more or less completes the course with all the um, with all the with the examples as well. So if someone says, okay, here the order was 3.2, but since you have found the order 4, what will actually be the gain at 6000 hertz? Let us try to see if the requirement is covered or not, because the question required us to have a gain of at least this, so it can be greater than this in the negative side. So let us try to find it. So what will we how can we find this? So for a gain of, for omega is equal to, so remember the um, magnitude response, magnitude expression for magnitude response is 1 over 1 plus omega over omega c power 2n square root. So try to find this. So for omega, for n is equal to 4 and omega c is equal to, and then this ratio at 6000 and this is 1000, we will get 6. So 1 plus 6 power 2 into 4 square root is going to give us this thing. Let me solve it. 6 power 8. Six power 8 is obviously something much larger than 1, and we don't need to add that 1 and just take the square root. 1296. So 1 over 1296 and 20 log of 1 over 1296 would be that would be minus 62.3 dB. So what did the question say? The question said the stop band gain should be at least minus 50 dB, and it is lower than what was required. So instead of this, we have a lower value. So it definitely fulfills the requirement, and therefore we say the filter we have designed for an order of 4 is going to meet the requirements.